what's allowed me to quit my 6-figure job just to sit on this full time and go into aircraft leasing all the time. Hey, I'm Zach Purvis, and I quit my 6-figure job to pursue aircraft leasing full time. So I'm an Army veteran and ex-car salesman, and now full-time aircraft leaser, and I own a management company on top of that with it. About 5 years ago, I walked into actually this airport here that I'm at right now as a brand new student pilot, never been in a small airplane before, and I'd never had any dreams or aspirations of becoming an airline pilot, but I thought it would be amazing to learn how to fly. So I took the leap of faith and I did it. So I came to the school, I took a discovery flight, and I fell in love, man. I mean, I found my passion for aviation right then and there. I thought it was the funnest thing in the world to get in a plane, and it just gave me the confidence that I was able to learn how to fly this thing, right? Coming from the car business, sales has been in my blood, my entire life. Ever since I got out of the military, I went straight into the car business, and I made it my mission and my duty, my obligation to become successful at doing really whatever I do. So with that comes tax implications, right? So if you do well with anything in America, the government's going to come for their fair shake of that. So around the same time that I started learning how to fly, obviously my income was going up, so I was able to afford to do this. My tax implication went up too. So that year, the IRS told me that I owed them $100,000 that year in taxes. I wanted to see how I can mix all this together. Now, I've been a big follower for Grant Cardone for a long time. I've been to a lot of the seminars. I've read all the books. I swim in the Kool-Aid with that, right? I believe in the mission and what he preaches there. One thing that he did is he had a $50 million tax liability, and he bought a Gulfstream jet at the last month of the year to negate having to pay that taxes. And so that got my wheels turning. And now I didn't have a $50 million tax liability, but I definitely had a $100,000 one I didn't want to pay. So if I could merge these two together, I thought if he can do it, I can do it, right? So I started reading the code, start finding out how an airplane really is tax deductible, right? So, under the code, I mean, it's written right there for you that with bonus depreciation, an airplane qualifies to that, as long as it is used for 100% business use. So I decided to make a business. I opened Aviation Ape Aircraft Leasing and Management, right? So I bought an airplane strictly for the purpose of using it to make money, just like for passive income, just like commercial real estate, right? Now, when I first got into this, I bought my first airplane as a 15-hour student pilot. So I didn't understand aircraft maintenance. I didn't understand the insurance. I didn't necessarily want to invest into something I didn't understand. But I do understand how to make money work, right? And I've tried my hand in the real estate, and I'll tell you, I hate residential real estate, cannot stand it. Sorry for all the real estate guys that are out there. But I mean, I don't see how you guys can cash flow making a couple $100 a door with the mortgage and the insurance and and taxes and property tax and everything. But commercial real estate, I love it because it's truly passive. And you can buy a strip mall with 5 different office spaces in there, and 5 different businesses are operating their business out of there, and they're just paying you the rent. If they have an electrical issue or a plumbing issue, they're calling an electrician or they're calling a plumber. They're not calling me, right? So I figured I can marry these two together and make this work in the aviation field. And I was successful doing that. So I came to this flight school. I asked them if they would be interested in purchasing a newer airplane, because the planes they were using were older, they were out of date, they were always having issues. And if you're in aviation, if you're learning how to fly, you can't do it once or twice a week. You have to continuously go at this and do it, because it's not like riding a bike. And the more times that plane is down, the more time it's costing you, which relates to money. It's more money that it's costing you. So I said, guys, if I just buy you a brand new airplane, will you use it, cut me in on the profits? And they said, yeah, absolutely, we'll do that. It's a lease back, it's nothing new. But I didn't want to do it the regular way. I didn't want to do it the way that everybody else did, because all the research that I had seen was people telling me it was a terrible investment. The only way to start out or become a millionaire in aviation is to start as a multimillionaire. I hear that every single day. And I was like, well, I'll just figure out another way to do it, and I'll do it the way that I do it in real estate. So I do a triple net lease. So I provide the airplane at a flat hourly rate where nobody else can compete with my prices. I do a monthly hourly minimum on the plane to guarantee that it's going to cash flow. And how do I come up with that hourly guarantee is, well, an average flight school is going to do anywhere between 80 to 100 hours every single month per plane, depending on weather and maintenance and all that. But on average, that's what they're going to do. So I take half of that just so I can guarantee the plane's going to cash flow. So on my first plane, I told them I'll charge them a $50 rate on a 50-hour minimum, so I can guarantee that plane's going to cash flow at least $2,500 a month. And if it does end up doing more, which typically it does, 100 hours a month, that's going to make $5,000 a month. Now, obviously, they're charging more than that, right? So they can cover the insurance, the maintenance, the fuel, the hangar. the operating cost, and then they're also going to have their revenue stream from their CFI providing instruction too. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? It's a win for me because I got to own an airplane, I get to produce income off of it, and I got to write the entire purchase price of that airplane off. It's a win for the flight school because they get to have a newer airplane that they're able to provide their flight training in, and all they got to do is pay for their operating costs and what they use, and the more they use it, the cheaper it gets. And it's a win for the students because they're not going to be in the same situation that I was in, flying an older 1960 something Cessna 150 that the radios don't work and they can't do their cross country time. So I was able to find a way where this could be a win-win-win for everybody involved, and that's how I like to do my deals. So I started doing this, like I said, 5 years ago. It was super successful. It paid for my first plane. It paid for all of my flight time. And, I got to write the entire thing off. So then I said, okay, I got to do this again. I went out and I found funding. And now today I have 5 airplanes personally to myself that I lease back at 5 different locations. And they all pay for themselves. They're all tax written off. And they all produce income every single month. So much so that it's allowed me to quit my 6-figure job just to sit on this full time and go into aircraft leasing all the time. It got to a point where I was so busy, I couldn't do both jobs. So when I saw the demand was there, I didn't want to just hold it all to myself, right? Because if the demand was out there, these flight schools, they need the planes. Like, they can't take as many planes as I can give them. They'll take as many as I can get, right? The demand is there. But I couldn't single-handedly do it all myself. So I decided to package up all of my information all in one space, and I could help others do the exact same thing. Because if I can show somebody else how they can get the exact same success that I got with an airplane, how they can buy a plane, how it can cover the payment, how it can pay for itself, how they can cash flow the airplane, and how they can write the entire thing off and keep their W-2 income money that they work their ass off for, aviation world is that small. If you're on this video right now, if you're watching this video, it's because you're in that space. And no matter what, you may have seen me before someplace else, or no matter what, you're going to see me again. That's how small the world this is and how the algorithm works. So if I'm in front of you, I'm glad. Because this may be that wake-up call that you need. Because guys, it was scary. I left from taking that security of making, well into the 6 figures every single year. That's great income, to jump off and do this 100% by myself. But I believed in myself. I have the faith, and I'm telling you, the marketplace will reward you when you do stuff that scares you. Okay? Because if you have that confidence in yourself, you can't fail, guys. And I found a way here where it can work, and I can help other people and they can do the same thing. So fast forward to today. Now I have been operating for 5 years now, Aviation Ape Aircraft Leasing and Management. I have 5 planes personally under my personal portfolio that I lease back. I have 25 other planes under my management portfolio that I manage 100% for other people. And I have over 100 people in my program right now that I have helped personally buy their own airplanes, secure the deal, do the pre-buy inspection, handle ferrying the plane, and get that plane up to market and sent out, and you got a successful lease on it, and it starts producing passive income as well. So now I have a course on Teachable where I teach other people how to do it, where I have my leases, I have my business plan, I have everything from A to Z on how to do this, and you can take it and know if you're never even been a pilot to if you're a United airline pilot, you can take this information and you can run with it, right? Better yet than that, I'm not just selling a course. I have a mentorship with it that I hold your hand every single step of the way. I'm not just selling a process and a concept, I'm selling results here, guys. I'm with you from the acquisition of the airplane, to the due diligence, to the ferrying, to the advertising and the marketing. I will hold your hand all the way up until that plane is placed at a flight school and it is successfully leased, right? And then on top of that, my top tier is I have a complete done-for-you management program where I will find the airplane, negotiate the deal, do the pre-buy inspection, handle all the due diligence, all of your FAA registration and paperwork. I will bring the plane here to Florida. I will hangar it and market it and advertise it for free. And then I will set that plane up with a lease no matter where in the country that is successful and producing you income, and I will manage the entire asset for you as well. So if this is something you're interested in learning how to do, click the link in my bio here. I want to get on a call with you and explain further what I do. But guys, I just want to let you know, do the things that scare you, because this scared the hell out of me. I have a lot riding on this right now. I have a newborn baby. I have a wife. I have 3 houses that are all in line, and I just acquired another business. So I'm going all in on this, and if this just shows you the confidence that I can do it. You can do it, guys, because I started doing this when I was 24 years old. Everybody told me that I couldn't buy an airplane, that you need a cosigner, that you need to have the best credit in the world, and you need a whole bunch of money down, and on top of that, the airplane's gonna lose you money. If I would have listened to what everybody else told me, I would have never taken action. And there's paralysis by analysis, guys, and if you think that you are going to think your way in and plan your way on how everything's gonna go, you're never gonna do anything, right? You need to come up with an idea, you need to commit, you need to take action, and the marketplace will reward you, guys. And I know from personal experience, it is crazy, it is scary, but it works. And I want to tell you, and I want to give you the confidence that if you work with me, I've been there in your shoes, and I want to do it every single step of the way with you, because I know what it feels like on the other side of that. So I'm Zach Purvis. I just quit my 6-figure job to go into aircraft leasing full time. This is the beginning of a whole journey, more videos to come. Like, subscribe, and you'll see me next time.